This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I will be playing the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is Two Headed Serpent. It was written by Paul Fricker, Scott Dorward, and Mathew Sanderson. It's available directly from Chaosium and also from Drive-Thru RPG. I am the Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is episode 9. Our recap will be given by Julia Arba as his hero, Stony Cooper. So without any further delays, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Julian?
Hey, Tom. So we are continuing our day at Caduceus headquarters, learning our way around the place and trying to learn more about the serpent folks and really anything we can about their culture and religion as possible. We got a little bit of information about Rose. She's apparently the head of the Inner Night, and went on a mission to a place in Georgia, not United States Georgia, but Eastern Europe, Georgia, somewhere called the Cabrera Cave Complex, I think is what it was called. And something there happened, and she was the only one to escape. So I'm thinking she must have encountered some serpent folk there and got turned. That's my working theory right now. But I went down and I tried to help Buzz with some machine that he's been fiddling with. And the instruction manual was a bunch of gobbledygook. Couldn't make heads or tails out of it. But eventually, I don't know what I did, pushed some buttons, pulled some levers, and I helped Buzz get this thing up and running. Turns out it is a really nifty machine. You put stuff in it, and it will analyze it for you. Buzz learned that he had some iron deficiency. We got more information about Goose and his condition and how he's progressing along, so that's really good. And Fern, I swear I believe that woman's got some screws loose because she comes running in with these toxins in a full-on suit, and we're just like, what? And she's analyzed these spores to find out that they are from some plant that is from a continent that doesn't exist anymore. So very fascinating information there, I have to say. So we are going to work on probably coming up with an accelerant as a result of all these experimentations with this machine to help Goose further along with his process. Dr. Harrow and Dr. Green were up in the library doing some more work on researching and such. And they decided to take the scepter and other items down to T to get some information about these things. Goose also tried to get some additional privileges for Tyrannish while she's in the headquarters, but he was unsuccessful. And that, of course, is when we learned that Dr. Green is actually just a good-for-nothing, shifty-eyed criminal scum guy. I had bad suspicion about him when he saw them emeralds back in the thing, and he was trying to stuff one in his pocket. So now I know to keep my eye on Mr. Green. But we are here with Tyrannish right now, and she's telling us a great deal of information that hopefully will keep ourselves alive. Back to you, Thom.
Right. So you are still in the room with Tyrannish. What do you have more questions? Do you want to go on? She certainly is willing to help instruct you in the Naakal language, and go over bits and pieces of her history or the history of her people.
I think Fern has written down the symbols that were on the toxin vials in her notebook, and she goes over to Tyrannish. Miss Tyrannish, Dr. Shapiro, they had these in their archives, these vials of, seems like they're toxins of some sort. I've been looking at them, but I can't really tell very much about their origins or what exactly the effects are going to be on humans. So I was wondering, here, these symbols are on each vial. Can you take a look and maybe you know something more about them?
Yeah, she confirms what each of them does, and she says that she doesn't know. They're actually ancient. There may have been stockpiles around the world in her day, but the things required to make them no longer exist. So they were, the last bits of them. They come from a time sort of in the Middle Kingdoms when there was a lot of assassination going on. As far as she knows, they're toxins specifically against snake people, and they're very dangerous. But she doesn't know if they would affect humans. Probably not. Our biology is not the same.
And one of the reasons, if I understand correctly, that these are no longer producible from the original material is because they're from large islands that were occupied and no longer exist. Mu and Lemuria.
Well, she says that there have always been, considering 240 million years, continents shift and move and change and sink and rise. She says, your Shapiro gave me a current map of your planet, and although it looks mostly familiar, because 13,000 years ago it wouldn't have been that different. But definitely she points to what would be the Pacific Ocean. And she said, yes, this is originally where a very large island, the one that you keep calling Mu, would have existed. And in fact, that is the island, as I've explained, that was shifted out of your dimension into another dimension and caused worldwide tidal waves when it happened. It suddenly was not there, and the ocean crashed.
So we definitely don't want to bring it back from wherever it's phased out and cause massive global catastrophe again.
Well, that was part of my mission, was to try to find a way to it wherever it is. That's where the main science facility is. I'm sure if we could manage to bring it back, we could do it in some way that wouldn't be so disruptive. It wasn't the serpent people that moved it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you've had a number of incursions over the millennia, it seems, from various other forces.
Yes, I personally wasn't there, so I don't know, but the rumors were it was the Teclelians. which are sometimes called the first ones.
Would you say, did your era include the period in which this Tsathoggua entity first showed up?
Not mine. He'd been a religious icon for millennia before me. It's just that their faction didn't really gain much strength until just before the island of Mu was destroyed or disappeared.
And do you have any idea what kind of entity that is that has
I've seen it
developed this cult
depicted.
around it?
I've seen it depicted in pictures. It's kind of a bat frog, hairy, squatting thing that lives down in the dark, deep down in the earth. It's usually depicted sleeping.
Do you think it's terrestrial in origin to the best of your knowledge? Or do you think it came from someplace farther?
I think that it's possible it was brought, the concept was brought here by other things. I don't really know. I'm not a theologist. I don't know much about the religion.
It seems that
And as you say, there have been incursions from other places. You probably, I don't know yet in your technology if you've discovered life other places.
I'm just curious about the followers of Tsathoggua. Do they have like a particular um,
They
pattern that
worship
they
they
follow?
worship they worship darkness and death. They
Okay.
cause chaos wherever they go. Um, it's a strange cult.
Hmm. Are there particular times a year? Do they have like festivals?
I don't know.
Or don't know.
Do they
I
have like,
imagine they do, but I mean, don't
uh,
all religions?
yeah, have like major holidays and days of celebration?
Considering that they're creatures of the darkness, probably they wouldn't like the moon. So they'd like nights that didn't have a moon out. That's just a guess. I don't know. Like I say, I don't really know a lot about religion. I know more about the Yigians than I do about the Tsathoggua people. The inner night. The Yigians worship a snake god,
Is that
kind of
your
the father of serpents.
is that your like religion?
Not mine.
No.
I don't have a religion. I'm a scientist.
So you have no God that you turn to for answers?
No, but there are entities. I mean, considering the strength of their resolve, it may be that Tsathoggua is an actual entity. But if he is, he's just an alien intruder of some sort. And I think Yig might be the same thing. And we've certainly encountered other powerful entities. We scientists have done our best to try to tap them and imprison them rather than worship them.
So these things are, in your mind, they're actual physical things and not just like concepts, like high-held concepts.
I suppose a lot of them might just be high held concepts or the ignorance of the masses.
But this Sasagua and Yig, or do you feel there's
All I know is
evidence to
that
support?
their religions existed and may still exist. And it doesn't really matter whether they're real or not. It matters
Yeah,
that their believers think it and do horrible things in their name.
yeah. No, that makes sense to me. I mean, the power of belief is a lot. So, and acting under the impression that you believe your God wants you to do these things is, more
Remember,
than
and
enough.
this is just sort of an aside. I do remember reading a paper, from millennia before I was born. The idea of using religion to control people. The scientists of that time thought it might be an interesting method to control people, but that was a long time ago. And isn't that what religion is anyway? It's a method to control people.
Well, how do you feel about the people of Bombaruni kind of worshiping you like a goddess?
Well, I wasn't even aware of it. When I was entempled, it was serpent people, and they knew what I was doing, and they were supposed to wake me up after 100 years. I suppose they got massacred or died out, and then the Bombaruni came along and did what everybody does. They just start worshiping things they don't understand. Um, Maybe some of them met me in their dreams.
Well,
It's
I think that
possible.
might be true, but you have to see, I know you were talking about religion almost as if it's an evil thing. The people of Bombaruni weren't evil. They were very nice and they wanted to help you.
I suppose ignorant people can be very nice. I don't have anything against them. I have things against interference in scientific investigation because it's a waste of time. I I hope you're not religious.
So what's your purpose now? Like what if you were to get
Apparently,
out
it's
of
just to sit here and answer damn questions
yeah,
from.
but after this, well, I mean, what would you do? What would your work be now?
Well, I guess my work hasn't really changed. I need to find a way, if it's at all possible, a way back to fix this problem. But I don't see any way of doing it. Certainly, traveling the dreamlands wasn't any use for 13,000 years.
Well, you seem to have learned all of the major languages of your succeeding species, or
Met
some
a
of them
lot
at
of
least.
people.
Uh, I apologize, but a way back,
Oh,
like in
I don't
time?
know. I mean, no, no, no. Time travel is probably not possible. But a way back to the island of Mu, back to the Citadel, back to the. Now, there's the thing. We don't know anything about it. It was removed from our reality. It could, in fact, be stuck in time. It could be in exactly the spot where it was left. So we just don't know. That's why I was looking for a way. Our scientists knew of no way to find it. We would try to
Rourke would
find a
be sitting at
gate
the
or a
bottom of the
door.
ocean.
I suppose that's a possibility, but I do think that the reports came in that it had simply disappeared. It had vanished all at once, which caused the oceans to come crashing in where the hole was left, and then tsunamis going over the whole world.
But
And that it was probably
disappearing.
the Teclelians that did it. They're more advanced than us.
Those first ones, what
Yes.
what kind of creatures were they? How long were they around before you, if they're called the first ones?
Well, she finds a blank spot on the wall that she's already whitewashed over, and she starts to use her paints to depict them. They are, they look like sea creatures. They're barrel shaped. They have star shaped heads. They have tentacles for feet and 5 eyes that ring around something that looks like membranous wings. she says our legends say that they were the first ones here. They were here before life existed on this planet. And in fact, they're the ones who infected this planet with life. For all we know, they are behind our evolution and your evolution and everything else. But their kingdom, their empire was long, long, long gone before we came around. And we have occasionally found bits of their technology. At least we had. Some of our
Interesting.
some of our medical abilities were gleaned from ancient writings of their people. But we don't know that they don't still exist. They didn't like the cold. And so they retreated as the ice covered the earth. They retreated farther and farther away. I think if they went anywhere, they went down into the warm depths of the ground.
So I guess finding this island of Mu seems to be the most important thing. How does that, as you said, fix things? What
Well, I don't honestly know. If I could reclaim the Citadel, if I could reactivate it, there's a wealth of scientific technology there that might be able to do any number of things. But we've already lost the crown, which also leads to problems. I don't know. We've never been able to find a doorway or a gateway or anything back to it. I am quite lost at this point and in despair.
Well, I don't think, look to the group. I don't know that we can help in finding a island that is, displaced in time or space or reality somewhere, but it seems as if this crown was taken from Earth and it is probably still somewhere on Earth. Maybe that's something we can help with. I mean, it seems like we're I don't know, force
It
of
may have been
people.
It may have been long destroyed.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
I
we
don't know.
at least get that answer. That seems attainable by us. I mean, we're kind of sitting here twiddling
Don't
our
really have
thumbs a
much
little
going
bit.
on.
Yeah.
But
I
the
mean,
crown was entombed with you?
Was supposed to be.
Hmm.
13,000
Do you think you could-
years.
Do you think you could paint a picture of what this crown looks like so that
Sure.
we could help identify it if we see it?
So she goes over and she begins to paint basically herself sitting on that throne, sitting in a very stylized, iconic manner. And in one hand she has the scepter, in one hand she has the whip, and then on her head is the crown. And the crown looks like, well, it looks like it's a circlet, but it has 7 serpents coming out of it. So it looks like a crown. And you realize that she's drawing in a very symbolic sort of way, like Egyptian cave paintings. And it seems to be, she clarifies that this isn't just pretty pictures. This is the way they preserve their history. They paint the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And after tens of thousands of years, the paintings look the same. So they know what their history is. So I imagine you guys spend some time with her. And the day wears on. What would you guys like to do? I forget,
Well,
is this the
if-
next day? Is this the day that you're meeting with the mob?
That's going to be
I
tomorrow.
thought, yeah, it's the same day. I thought we were going to have dinner later.
Yeah,
It was our next
we are.
plan.
Yeah. I know one thing, if there's time that I'm going to do, I haven't really devoted a lot of time to figuring out the big jewel and how we can use that to accelerate Goose's thing. So, if we got time for dinner, I'm probably going to spend some time just looking at that. And, Stony has proven to find a way and solution. So if he's got nothing going on, I'd invite Stony to come and look at it with me and see if we can figure something out.
Sure.
Until it's time to go for dinner, or we find an answer first.
I think Fern is going to go on a little scavenger hunt for some plants that are growing locally that she researched, and she wants to get some collections to bring back to Buzz.
Okay. You also get the impression from Tyrannish is that she's used to jungle conditions and she appreciates the flowers, but you get the hint that she'd almost appreciate you bringing in potted plants, lots of them, because she's used to having jungle around her.
Well, I've got plenty of plants, dear. I'll see what I can scrounge up from my greenhouse. I'll bring you some pretty ones.
I'll stay with Tyrannish and get some lessons in Akal, possibly, or something.
All right. So Jack and Stony, you guys are working together.
Yeah.
What would you like to do? What sort of experiment would you like to try?
So Stony, I know we know this thing projected a beam of light almost, right? That shot Mr. DuPont. So maybe we try to shoot some light through it, different, intensities of light somehow, and just see if we can figure out how to concentrate it, or if there's a certain, type of light, or.
You think this thing might be like a movie projector of some sort?
Yeah, some sort of amplifier, or how, as a kid you took a magnifying glass and you did some horrible things to ants.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Okay.
So Jack, why don't you roll a weird science?
Oh, weird science. Ooh, I don't know that I have weird science.
I thought you had weird science.
I do. Oh, is that a skill?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't have a number for it.
Oh, it's
I must have missed that part of giving it an actual value.
I think it's a talent, so it gives you an advantage.
Okay. All right.
Other than that, you could roll intelligence or.
Okay. All right. We'll go intelligence. But then I will look up weird science again. Oh my gosh. I wrote a 92, which is not a success in any world on anything.
Okay. So you quickly realize that what the crystal is it's a kind of lens. However, the whole mechanism that was behind it in the temple would have been the thing that concentrated and focused the light beam. If you were to try and shine a light through this, it would diffuse into the whole room. It wouldn't focus. It would hit everything. Yeah.
Well, Stony, what do you think? I mean, it's going to shoot light out everywhere, which I guess we'd only want one person in that room, unless other people want to, transform into snakes.
Yeah. So, if I understand how this thing worked correctly, there was a thing behind it that shot light into it,
Yeah, I tried to get that and it shocked me. So I couldn't get that part of it out, which is probably the important part of focusing the light.
Okay. So if we shine light into it, it's going to just go everywhere. Is there a way to refocus that again? Like if we put this emerald in like a big inverted disco ball of sorts, or a disco ball that's
Hmm.
inside out, and could you focus it through a gap?
So if we had, let's say we had a room and then we had some walls with like a small window
Yeah.
so that all the light that it produces is going to go through that one, it can only go through that one spot. And then we have something on the other side of that spot that would focus that light
Yeah, kind of like a
in one
prism.
beam. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea, Stony. So we need a big enough room and we need to construct some walls with maybe just like even like a quarter size hole to focus the light and then put something like, I don't know, something on the
Have
other
it-
side, like magnifying glass type glass to focus it into one position.
Yeah.
It
Stony,
should
you're
work like a movie projector.
yeah. Stony, you are you know what? When this is all over, I could use somebody with your brain in my shop. So
Well, I appreciate that.
you think outside the box, even more than I think outside the box. So
I'm just, just trying to help. That's all I can say.
well, I think we get with Shapiro and float the idea, see if they have a room here that we could kind of repurpose and put some walls up. I mean, we can put our hands to use and build a wall, I think, and you know,
Oh yeah, pretty good with the hammer and nails.
yeah,
Well, and you've got other people working here that, scientific assistants. So.
yeah. So I think
All
we
right,
probably,
so
yeah,
that's your project that you're going
yeah,
to start working on, a way to focus the beam.
yeah.
Gustav, what are you up to? Oh, you were with Tyrannish. Yeah, she's teaching you. Dr. Harrow, what did you want to do?
I suppose. Let's see. We took the scepter to Tyrannish for her to look at and discuss.
Yes.
So I'll make sure to replace that, as after all, we have to sign things in and out
Right.
of the of our repository. Maybe I'll turn to trying to break down some of the hieroglyphics on the wooden case that contains the flail.
Okay.
Have a sense of what the scepter does, and I felt its power.
Well, and we'll say that really doesn't take you that long anymore because you've got your primer and you're sort of going over it. And it just basically it states that because the Vormis were engineered for strength, and it does say engineered for strength, their brains are not so developed. They understand pain. They understand being driven. And you get just like a mule or an oxen. They can understand simple controls, but if they get out of line, you got to use pain to whip them back into shape. The whip itself looks pretty nasty. It's got a golden handle on it with jewels, but it's got kind of a leather top on it, and then it has I think there are 7 long sinuous whip cords that you think might be leather of some sort, but they've got metal studs in them. You also, do you actually touch it or pick it up?
Things didn't go so badly with the scepter. And I trust myself more than I trust Lloyd Green. Sure. There's no Vorish around to command, but I'll see what it feels like.
Do a willpower roll.
And this. That's regular, only 5 away from a hard.
Okay. You grab a hold of the whip, and you can feel that similar sort of build up of energy, like it's pulling something out of you. And the little barbs on the ends of the thing start to glow. But they don't, nothing really happens. You don't see anything.
Right. It's not like the hallucination of snakes earlier. I don't even know what a Vorish thing looks like, so they're big. I've seen them stylized only. And do I feel a waning of my personal essence the way I did with the other object?
Yeah, at first you do, but you also kind of feel maybe it's a little hard to explain. You feel that you are somehow psychically linked to it. And you kind of get the feeling that if you were to whip someone or something, it would give them extreme pain and it would give you pleasure in return.
Okay, there's a weird little tingle involved in handling this thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know that this ancient snake technology is exactly what we shouldn't mass produce it, let's say that. Does the sort of tingle, does the sparkle about it discharge quickly when I put it back in the case, or does it seem to linger?
Not so quickly. It tends to linger.
Uh-huh.
But after 2 or 3 minutes, you can notice that it's starting to fade.
Yeah, all right, I'll make some notes. I don't know who I'd want to inflict that kind of pain on, not having giant servants around.
So, do you do any looking around the rest of the room? Because there's a lot of other bits and baubles in here.
Well, yeah, I suppose I should poke about and see if there's anything that. Did I already check to see if anything came back from the Georgian expedition, or was that all farther upstairs? I know I looked for documentation of that.
You looked for some. You found documentation subversively about Rose, but yeah, there was no direct information, and you don't see anything in here labeled like it's from that expedition.
Barra Caves expedition, right? Yeah, well, I invited everyone to the 21 Club. I don't want to be late. I'll see what materials they again, this isn't very well indexed, this archive. Let's see if I'm always interested in learning more about the psychokinesis, so I'm going to look for material about that.
Okay. So you're looking for information in the library about the psychokinesis?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there'll be objects in their archive about that.
Yeah. You find in the library, you're not going to find anything more than what you've already known. Psychic abilities seem to be more prevalent in human beings than they are in serpent people, if you find that. But the serpent people tend to have things that look like magic, like sorcery. I would also like you to do a spot hidden for me as you're rummaging around.
Is Lloyd Green inside
Are you
in
in
the sarcophagus? trying to hide. Spot hidden irregular only, 31.
No, I'm not hiding.
There's something you notice sort of on a low shelf in the room. And for some reason, in the back of your mind, you kept thinking a suit of chainmail. But now that you've sort of put your attention on it, you're looking at it, you realize that it is like chainmail. It's very, very shiny, not dull at all, very silvery and bright. And when you pick it up, it feels almost like water in your hands. It's soft, but definitely metal of some sort. But when you sort of take a look at it, it's not shaped like a shirt or a pair of pants or anything. It's very strangely shaped, like it's got multiple holes in it, and whatever would wear this thing wouldn't be human. Wouldn't even be an animal that you could think of.
Is it obvious what sort of metal it's made of?
Not really.
It's on the silvery side, not the golden side.
On the silvery side, yeah. And it's
It doesn't
not
smell
really
like iron.
lynx. Doesn't smell like iron. Doesn't taste like copper, which would be brown. But if you're smelling it, it has the faint smell of ozone, which is odd, almost like it's electrical. And it's not really little rings. It's more like a spider web. It's all
woven
interwoven. Yeah.
So it doesn't really make noise when I fold it.
It's very soft, the sound that it makes.
Oh.
And there's at least one of the holes that's large enough that you could fit your head through into it and wear it kind of like a poncho.
Is there, and it's not in a crate or anything? There's no documentation. It's sitting on the shelf.
It's
This
just sitting on the
completely,
shelf.
apparently unique, metallic, flexible object. Well, I'm not going to stick my head through anything, but I'll probably stick my arm through a hole just to see if it feels like anything. I can imagine it having a current of some kind. I can imagine this being some sort of Tesla project.
Well, okay. So as you put your hand through something that appears to be more or less like a sleeve, something odd happens because as your hand comes out of the hole, it almost looks like the metal is shaping itself to your hand and closing up like it's fitting itself to your body.
Does it feel if it's sort of draping itself around my fingers and I close my hand, do I feel my flesh through it, or do I feel a solid kind of metal, or?
You can tell that it's on, but you can feel pretty well right through it, as if it were very, very thin silk.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be very silly. And I'm not going to pick up a hammer and whack my hand, but I'm going to look for something that's more like a ruler.
Okay. Something you can test it.
Yeah, something I can poke at it, smack it, prod it with, and see if it's actually providing some protection.
Well, in fact, it does. You don't know how it works, but looking at it close up as you're testing it, trying to hit it with something, it's almost like it's a kinetic dampener. If something moving fast hits it, it's absolutely rigid. But if it's moving at a normal pace, it's soft.
Right. Did we know about colloidal suspensions in 1933?
No, but it's a good example. Yeah.
Well, this seems very handy. And I guess I'll find that before I dress for dinner, I'll find the quartermaster and ask him where the hell they came up with that. That's Connors?
Connors, yeah.
Yeah.
You find Connors, and he says, "Oh, that we're not exactly sure, but we think that's alien technology. That's have you ever, in your studies, ever run across the term Migo?"
Oh, I think that only in the Nakal texts that I've been translating. I don't think ever before.
Well, there's been some speculation that it was some sort of alien race that came here, and they were really only interested in mining minerals out of the planet. But
Mm.
there's some things in the library about wars between the serpent people and those things. Um, we think that that is a camouflage net of some sort. Um, apparently, if you put it on, it becomes invisible, and provides quite a bit of protection, physical protection. But we don't know what the long-term effects are.
Right. Yeah. It certainly wasn't made for our kind, so that's something to be concerned about. But in an
Well, it tends to fit
emergency,
itself to whatever it's on, but
what's the longest anybody's had it on their person?
we haven't really done any experiments on it. That's why it's just been sitting in there. It's
Hmm.
interesting, but we pick up these things.
Yeah.
Um, it's old. It's pretty old as far as we know.
Yeah, something else for Buzz to look at when he has
I
the
mean, you're a
chance.
scientist. If you want to,
I certainly want to take it to a microscope and see what's going on at a, smaller level.
well, here, let me sign it out to you.
Very good.
Yeah. Right. So it comes time for you guys to gather for dinner.
I think before we go to dinner, me and Stoney have been talking about things, and I think we get with Shapiro or whoever, and it's like, okay, I think, and look at Stoney, it's like, I think what we need a room that has a window to the outside because we're going to try to use sunlight. So if you can clear us out a room, that can get kind of either we can use mirrors to redirect some sunlight to it or something, but
We can we can try to get you a room on 8. I'll see if there's a small room we can get that will have a window to the outside.
yeah,
You'll want a sunny side of the building. Let's see if we can
yeah.
arrange that. If you need any other kind of equipment, just talk to Connors,
Okay.
and
Yeah, we need a room big enough that we can make 2 rooms out of it, essentially. Not big rooms, but you know,
you've
bathroom
explained what
size
you're
rooms.
you're
Yeah,
attempting to do. It's
yeah,
an interesting idea.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't have anything else to do.
yeah.
So
And we figure sunlight's probably the best, most stable form of light that we can, that's been around forever. Flashlights weren't around 13,000 years ago. The sun was there though, so
yeah, I mean, we've got arc lights now. You can do some pretty bright stuff, but yeah, write up whatever your experiments are, and share them with the company.
yeah, we'll do that, and then over dinner we'll probably share with Goose our idea. See if Goose has opinions on it. So
Fern, you go to your greenhouses. You find a number of very nice plants that would help decorate Tiranish's room, make her feel a little more comfortable. Um, and Gustav, you were learning with her. So maybe Fern comes in and joins
Yep.
the two of you, and she's brought a cart with a number of cool plants.
I hope these will do for you, Miss Tierney. I don't think they're exactly what you might be used to, but they are rather beautiful.
Oh, they are beautiful indeed. I've never seen this uh, particular plant before. Um, and these flowers that you've brought, um, orchids. It's not like she knows what orchids are, but you get that that's what she's talking about.
Yes, they are very special, but they do tend to be a little finicky. So make sure that you put them in a nice spot so they can get some light and whatnot.
Excellent. Gustav and I have just been chatting. Um, you're very pleasant to talk to. I'm glad that you guys were my rescuers because you seem very pleasant. I'm not so sure about all of the employees here. They're somewhat very down to business, asking me a lot of questions.
Well, we're
It's
also not.
exhausting.
We also don't know the people here very well. I think the first time we arrived here was the same time as you, so.
Yeah, we kind of got thrown into this mess ourselves, and now here we are talking to a real live snake lady. I can say I never expected that I would be talking to someone like you, but I sure am glad I met you. I just hope that it becomes a little more comfortable here for you. Maybe they'll realize that they don't need to keep you so strapped in like they are right now.
Well, if I could find a way, I'm just wasting my time here, I think. Um, if I could find a way to blend in better with your own people, maybe they'd let me explore this beautiful city that you've built.
But you can change skins, right?
Yes, if you brought me someone suitable.
Well, doesn't
And
doesn't that require hurting someone, Goose?
I think I think you can do it without hurting someone, Tyrannish, right? You're advanced enough.
Well, I wouldn't kill them, no.
Here, seems fine.
Well, I don't know rightly how we're gonna go about picking who would be suitable, Goose. We barely know anyone here ourselves, and I'm not gonna go scooping someone out of the hallway just so she can go take a gallivant around the city.
We'll we'll think of something.
I'm sure
We'll
that
think of something.
I thank you for your help. All right, so let's move on to that dinner. You guys all gathered together.
What's this place called again? Club
21 Club,
21 Club.
52nd Street. Uh, it's got it, yeah. You know, it's a supper club. There's cocktails and, well, yeah.
Does Buzz need to wear something other than his typical work shirt?
Buzz has to straighten the oily rag he wears around his neck and make it look more like a tie.
Pretty good place. I've been here a time or two myself.
How are the pockets
I'm
for
sorry.
picking?
I apologize. I don't understand what you're. I just start patting myself down. I believe all of my pockets are in their place. Are you worried about someone wandering off with our things?
Not someone, Green, not someone. Maybe, well, what are you having? First
Well,
of all,
tonight I'd like to hear their specials.
we'll get a table for 6 cocktails, and then, Mr. Green, you can tell us about the study of linguistics.
I'm not so sure
So
I'm
they
going to
give
bother
you
you all with such boring, dreary topic. We've been discussing this all day long with Tiranish.
Oh no, I would
maybe
definitely
Tira
love to
in
hear
public.
everything you have to say about linguistics. I know a couple languages myself, besides English.
Oh, how interesting.
So they
Well,
give
maybe
you a
I can
large
regale you
room
with
in
a
the
few
back.
tales.
They give you a large room in the back. It's larger than you need, but there's nobody else in there. And you guys are seated around the table. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what are their specials that they're? I'm going to really put you on the spot here. What are their
Mm.
specials that they're having?
I've never been there, so I don't know. They're delicious. That's what they are. And I'm not so sure. March 1933. Are we out of prohibition yet?
That was my
No.
question.
I was wondering that
they're
too.
not.
I don't remember the
I
date.
think December 33 is when prohibition ends.
We are still in the middle of alcohol
yes, they
being
have
illegal.
they have cocktails, but that's why you're back in a private room, and they can hit a button and everything flips over and suddenly you're playing cards. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
So
think,
would it be
I
too?
think, go ahead.
I was going to say, would it be too outside of the realm of possibility to see if I could whisper over to the waitress or the waiter that might be here and to see if they can bring us a couple of nice bottles of Merlot?
Sure. Yeah, they bring you a pretty good, sumptuous little feast. And then, go ahead.
I was just going to, I think at some point, we over to Goose is like, so our idea is we have this crystal, we have to focus light through it. The problem is the contraption that focused the light is, I couldn't get to. So our idea is we're going to take a room, make it 2 rooms. You're going to stand in room B. Room A is going to have the crystal, light's going to go through it. It's going to fill all of room A, but then focus through a hole in the wall into room B. And we're hoping, me and Stoney think we have figured out, we're hoping as the light filters through the crystal and through this hole in the wall, it's going to hit this magnifying type glass and blast you, with a concentrated beam of this crystal light.
Sounds good. Can you aim where this beam is going so I don't get hit full in the face or something?
Nope,
It was
that's
pretty
that's what the hole's
painful,
for.
I remember.
I think you just have to stand in front of the hole. That's kind of the best we've got, right, Stoney?
That's the best we got. I mean, we
Yeah.
can put it less than eye level so that it doesn't, poke you in the eye
Are you putting
Yeah.
with the light.
That
You can see where the light goes first and then have him stand where the...
Yeah, we have you stand on a chair or something, and that way it hits you in the sternum or belly area.
okay. That sounds good. Sounds like you've been quite busy. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that they're getting us a room, and then we're gonna get on. Me and Stoney are gonna. We need to put our hands to use a little bit. That's so we're gonna build ourselves a little wall and kind of get everything set up. But I think we figured out how to, because we can't be in room A because that light's just gonna go everywhere. Otherwise, we'd be snake people with you.
I mean, you make it sound like it's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but I'd be comfortable seeing what it entails first before I decided to, partake.
Sure. Let me be the guinea pig. I'm already halfway there, so no choice for me.
Well, speaking of being halfway there, I mean, after y'all dispersed, me and Goose had a bit of a conversation with Tiranish, and I'd like your opinion. She's very adamant on getting out of that room and taking a walk around the city. I don't know exactly how that would work out for us, and I'm not exactly sure that I feel comfortable with her borrowing somebody else's skin.
Does she take their skin, or is she?
She
Well,
said
I
she
don't
didn't need
think
to
she
kill
like
him.
unzips them and puts it on, but I think she takes their form.
So she was
I'm
like,
not. She said, yeah, she said she wouldn't kill them, but I don't know. Do they go into a permanent coma?
so she doesn't like bonk them over the head and then like peel all their skin off and wear it like a suit.
Wouldn't that would kill me? I think.
Yeah, I think the main thing, and this is probably to not to be. Tyranny seems like a fine snake person. I think the main caution is that we get her out of the city and she runs off or escapes. I think if we could.
We wouldn't let her go out alone, right? Somebody has to
Yeah,
go with her.
but yeah, I mean,
Maybe me, for example.
yeah, I think it's just a matter of if we get her out, is she playing us and it's gonna,
Well,
do something
that's the
awful to you and then run away?
yeah, that's the thing, because her people supposedly are gone, and she said she doesn't know where they could be. But exactly what would she do in the outside world besides look around? Because she wouldn't have any friends.
It
Well, I
hasn't
mean,
been that long that she's been in captivity, and while the captivity of any reasoning person, and I think she must be considered a person, though not a human, that captivity is problem a problem and it's undesirable. But also the people up on the 17th and 18th floors have been dealing with these things for quite a bit longer than we have. And I don't know that we want to, in our first few days of initiation, defy their best understanding of the situation by supplying this non-human person with an unconscious human that she can wear. That seems a bit too far. If she remains imprisoned there over a period of time, then I can imagine steps might need to be taken. But right now, it seems as though she's a little stir crazy after her 13,000-year nap. But she's got plenty of wall to paint. They have plenty of questions for her, and I don't know that we need to buck their authority so soon.
and we don't
No, that was
know
my
what,
thinking as well.
and we don't know what her capabilities are. I mean, none of us, doctor, knew that Dr. Harrow could lift a man off the ground and drop him on his head. Before we met him, so we don't know what her capabilities are. She
To be
could
fair, it wasn't a man, and I haven't done that before, so I didn't know either. But I accept your.
she could go out and melt everybody's skin off within a mile radius, and we have no idea.
I mean, if she had powers like that, she would have broken out already, right? She could easily.
Well, and
Maybe,
and that's
but
that's just it. She has the capability to take a walk if she wants to. She doesn't really need our assistance.
that's
How long do you think before
that's
she no longer not just necessarily not needing our assistance, but no longer needs our approval to leave either?
it could be she likes us so much she doesn't want us to be harmed, but so the skin melting, maybe it's not, she doesn't have full control. It's everybody and doesn't want to melt our skin.
Well, that, and I feel as of right now, maybe she feels we could be useful to her.
You
I just
hear a
don't.
commotion just outside the sliding door to your room. Do a listen roll.
Everyone?
Sure.
Ooh, made it by 1 point.
I could spend 3 luck to succeed if it's worth that.
You don't need
Okay.
to.
I passed.
So-
Okay, you said listen. I made that on a hard.
So, well, in that case, we'll say this. Um, Those of you who didn't pass, you can hear that there's a bit of commotion, somebody talking outside the door. Those of you who passed, you hear a voice say, "I'm sorry, there's a private party in there. Um, please don't." That's about as far as it goes. Lloyd, you hear Fillmore Cassell's voice saying, "Get out of my way." This. And the door slides open, and you see
Okay.
Fillmore Cassell. Do you remember Fillmore?
Yeah, I was going to see if I had enough time from hearing his voice to get up, or did I just hear it and
You
I
could
didn't
get
have enough
up, you
time?
just can't get out. There's no way out.
In my
Um,
dealings, would I recognize this man?
Possibly. I
Okay.
don't remember if he's one that came to you, but
Okay.
you would know that he is a soldier for the Bonanno crime family. Um, he opens the door and sticks his head in and looks around quickly and sees you, Dr. Lloyd.
I would
And
want
when
to
he's
turn my head and try to like see if there was any way I could like maybe have the menu in front of my face, maybe be sitting back, anything that could like make me not really all that easily noticeable.
I mean, you could try that, but most likely he knows you're there. So what he does is he turns back around quickly and he says, "Yeah, they're in here." And a few seconds
Uh-oh.
go by, and Phil says, sort of out loud to you, Lloyd, he says, "Timetable's changed. The meeting's now." And coming into the room are a number of people. You see this man who you may recognize from the newspapers as Giuseppe Bonanno, the head of the crime family. He is followed by Philip Rappa, the consigliere to the Bonanno family. Franco Garofalo, he is the underboss of the Bonanno family. And you see Giovanni Bonaventure, who is the capo regime to the Bonanno family. These are probably the most powerful and dangerous men in New York City at this time. They're impeccably dressed, and they come in and sort of move around, and they take a seat at the other end of the large table that you guys are at. And Casal sort of stands back towards the back. You also notice that there may be a couple of other big muscles outside. And Bonanno says, "I'm sorry to have intruded upon your dinner, but we have something we need to discuss with you as businessmen. Please."
And
With us? All of us?
Well, we're here because this man, and he points to Lloyd, needs to settle a number of debts with our business organization. And we saw him, we had somebody watching him, so we knew he came in here tonight. Am I to understand that you all work together?
Well,
We have the same employer. Yes.
Which is
Mr. Bonanno, roughly.
Caduceus. So we're all friends here. We don't need to, there's nothing for any of you to worry about. As I said,
if you're looking at me, I'm sweating like
we're
like my face is pouring
we're
down.
we're just businessmen doing business in the city that we all love. But certain things have come to our attention, and we would like to ask a few questions, if you don't mind. So, uh, Philip Rapa, the consigliere, he says, would you please describe what exactly you do for Caduceus? We've seen you all coming and going.
Before anyone else can answer, I'm gonna jump up and I'm just gonna like try to walk over there and like extend my hand to talk to him. It is so nice seeing you again, sir. I
Sit down.
apologize for you. Yes, sir.
You also notice that there are obvious bulges in their jackets, and a few of the people sort of get their hands ready when he gets up.
I apologize for that. Forgive me. Yes, these are a few compatriots of mine. For the most part, we just work minor desk jobs and do some local business for them. There's not much that we've done. I mean, we've only been working for them for about 2 weeks now or so, and there's
We
not
did
much
just
we
go
do.
to South America, Lloyd, so that's
South America.
Mr. Bonanno, I think you can appreciate, as I have in our dealings, that this is kind of a no questions asked business that we would like to adhere to.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're asking some questions.
Right. But our relationships in the past have strictly been no questions asked. And if that's going to continue, it's going to need to go both ways. I've done some work. You know what work I've done. And that work can easily be explained to other people.
I am wide-eyed looking at him and like
My name is very respectable in your line of work.
One of the guys sort of leans over to him and whispers in his ear. He says, yes, we are aware of the assistance you've had in repairing some of our vehicles.
Right. I can point those out to other people very quickly.
For that, we are grateful. There's no need for any kind of threats. But you have to understand that as businessmen, we're in charge of the business that goes on here in New York. Now, your Caduceus claims to be genuinely trying to offer humanitarian aid to other countries. Now, is that in fact what you think they're doing?
Yes.
Or
that is
and
exactly
they don't have
what
any
they're doing.
they don't have any other sideline business going? It seems
Do you have other sideline business going?
It seems hard for us to believe that a man like Joshua Meadham, who had a multi-million-dollar pharmaceutical company, would give all of that up to do humanitarian aid. I mean, we don't see him in church.
Well, it's hard for me to believe that one of your cars rolls in and just needs an oil change, but that's all it gets.
You seem a little irritated, but
I mean, you interrupted my dinner, so.
And for that, we've apologized.
Can we get, I know you've got associates at the door, but can we bring some drinks in at least, make this a little more convivial?
Also, apologies and actions are two different things, so.
Shoot us.
I think, Mr. Bonanno, we haven't, we're not acquainted. I'm a physician and a scholar. This is Miss Meadows. You probably made a bit of money on Stoney Cooper at one point or another. His renown at fisticuffs is substantial. My friend, Mr. DuPont, is discreet. I think we all wish to be discreet, and that's why I think that Buzz is taking a little umbrage. Lloyd, could you mop up a little bit? You're dripping on the table.
why are you so interested in Caduceus if they're operating outside of your city? I mean,
Well, I'm
if they want to
glad.
do something in South America, that seems like way out of your territory.
Have you been any place else besides South America? Although South America is quite significant. Have you been to Africa or the
Not as
Orient?
yet.
I'm still very confused on why this is a business to you.
Because the business that we operate here could be undermined by a company who is illegally bringing in their own product to sell in our city, and we don't have anything to do about it. So I have a proposition for you, and that's all, a friendly proposition, for
Please,
which we are
before you continue, but so as no one leaves this situation feeling at all embarrassed about things, we'd all perfectly happily swear on whatever you or we hold sacred. That is, to the best of our knowledge, Caduceus has nothing to do with any form of smuggling whatsoever.
well, and yet we find that on this recent trip that you were on, you did bring back a number of crates and things, and you've sent more people back to, what was it, Bolivia?
Yeah. The humanitarian situation.
We're willing to accept that you also might not be fully aware of what's going on. So we want to make you a proposition and then leave you in peace to finish your meal. We'd like you to take a look and see if you find out anything about them that would be objectionable to our business dealings. We run the docks. We know when things come and go, and we've seen suspicious things. We just would like, and we can compensate you. We can erase Mr. What do you call yourself now? Green? We can erase Mr. Green's debt, and we can compensate you handsomely for your assistance. After all, you are New Yorkers.
Well, you know perfectly well what the steak here costs compared to some greasy spoon downtown. Yes, but I think, if I may speak for the rest of you, happy with our employment with Caduceus. As a favor, and to get our friend Mr. Green out of trouble, I'm happy to agree to tell you, should we discover that there's any sort of smuggling going on at Caduceus. Mostly they're dealing with penicillin.
Let us hope so. Well, we'll leave you to your meal. Thank you very much for your attention, gentlemen. And I hope that our future dealings will be lucrative.
I think
They stand up.
I step out with Bonato. And I say, I'm not opposed to working with you and doing these things, but the way things used to be, there was a process and a class to it, and this is not it. So if you want my business in the future, you should probably figure out a better way of approaching people. Interrupting our dinner is not the way to do it. Now, if you want to do things your way, there are other mechanics that are nowhere near my class in this city, and you can go find them.
It was not our intention to interrupt you. We were actually looking for Mr. Green.
Well, when you saw he was with us and me specifically, maybe a rethinking of approach needs to be in the future.
We're sorry. We had to move our timetable ahead. We'd originally planned on speaking to Mr. Green tomorrow, but I have business that I have to attend to. Now, if you excuse me, and he and his people leave.
I come back in to the our room, visibly flustered, and
I mean, this is probably nonsense, but I checked their shadows when they were here. I mean, they're probably concerned with smuggling, but just in case, I wanted to check their shadows. Are there
Well,
any tails or
there's
anything?
not much in the way of shadows inside this dark, comfortable hotel, but you didn't see anything. Not hotel, restaurant. But you
When
didn't see
okay.
anything.
when they step out, I would like to, I guess you said it's not saloon door, sliding door. I'm gonna, when Buzz steps out after them, uh, and I'm happy he's not carrying that giant monkey wrench he often has in his hand. But I am gonna see what the maitre d, what his affect is like. Because I'm like, did they give us a big table in the back so they could send some goons in? I mean, did the goons set this up? Just want to do a sort of psychology roll or observation to see whether
Okay, go
we
ahead.
need to find another place. Because it feels a little like a setup to me. Ooh, 15. I don't know what I have in psychology. 40. Yeah, so that's a hard.
Well,
Does somebody hand somebody a bill, or does somebody look nervous, or
no, nothing like that. You do notice that the waiting staff looks uncomfortable with them in the room, but the maitre d acts as if they come in to eat here occasionally, so he treats them with great respect. But there's no exchange of money. You also think that you were given that room because most of the tables in the restaurant are filled already, and there was no place to give you a private place to talk other than this.
okay,
So
fair
could have
enough.
been legit. On the other hand, also that you did get the information that they've been following whoever Lloyd Green is.
Mr. Green, we're gonna probably need a larger conversation on your dealings here. To everybody.
Jack, I'm kind of feeling the same way. I didn't
Oh,
know that you kept such company.
I mean, I do work for numerous members. I just do straight up vehicle work, improvements or routine maintenance.
And
It's
the
a way of
tone you
making
took
money.
with one of the strongest men in New York sure does seem to suggest that there's more than that going on. I'm surprised he didn't shoot us all.
The strongest man in New York now is a far cry of respectability from the people that were in power. There used to be a way of doing things. This one thinks he just comes in and does what he wants, which probably works for him in a lot of avenues. But when you rely on people like me to make sure that bullets don't penetrate your windows and stuff, I expect a certain amount of respect when it comes to talking to me and those around me.
Yeah, well,
still-
I don't know who the hell they were, but I didn't feel a friendly vibe coming off of them. And I sure as hell don't want to be involved in anything nefarious. We're already neck deep in the weird right now anyway.
Well, from the way it sounded like, it sounds like something we don't have to worry about. And I grabbed the bottle of Merlot that I imagine that's like got just a little bit, and I'm like downing it as I say that just in front of everyone.
I mean, what kind of debt have we agreed to satisfy for you, Mr. Green?
And I slammed the ball on the table. I'm not really quite sure what he meant by that. I mean, like friends don't really like hold things like that.
Okay. Lloyd, my cards are on the table. I mean, I feel like in this group of people that are going to be working together, your cards need to be on the table too.
I mean, I'm just a simple professor. There's not much I like.
A lot of simple professors don't have the biggest mob boss in New York busting in on their dinner and calling them out by name.
What can I say? I've done a few charities for my for the university, and he was such a very nice contributor. And I've met him and his family. It's all very nice people.
Lloyd, should we have left you in South America? Maybe strapped to an anthill or something? The fact is, you're no longer you're busted.
And I've clearly run with these people, so I know the other kind of people that they deal with, and you're one of them. So, I mean, let's just be out with it. We're not going to like leave you on the side of the road. You're part of this now. Let's get all of our cards on the table.
And I give Dr. Harrow a very dirty look.
I mean,
we didn't, is my point.
Right.
We know you lied
to us.
It was
an option.
That you were under false pretenses as far as we are concerned, that Caduceus knows that your expertise is not in linguistics, but in human psychology, shall we say? So why don't you tell us a little bit of your colorful history so that we stop thinking that you're going to pick our pockets every time we turn around and say, steal a little fire weapon from somebody that you're on a dangerous mission with.
I did not steal anything.
I did see you with a very large,
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's either listen. I don't want to be this guy, but it's either you be straight with us and get the cards out, or clearly you can tell from what just happened. I have connections with all these people. We can just leave you to them and not try to help you.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't agree to settle your debt yet. Like, right. I didn't speak up for myself, so...
They sounded like, we're all in it now, because they want the digs on Caduceus, and I don't know exactly what they're looking for, but...
I think Fern's right. It sounds like it's more than just a me thing at this point. It sounds like it's kind of an everybody here that's at this table kind of thing.
It's not if we leave you on the sidewalk when we leave here. Then it's
you could be leaving me on the sidewalk, but apparently they want to know more about Caduceus, and they can find 5 other people to go ask questions for. So it sounds like, we're all tied together just as much as we were before we came in here.
Simple put, are you settling your debt without us? Just simple yes or no. Are you settling your debt without us?
If you're willing to help.
So that sounds like a no. That sounds like you need us to settle your debt. So tell us what we're settling. Is it gambling? Is it you agreed to do jobs and didn't do them? You don't have to go full detail.
Yes and no. Yes and no. There's a bit. But
okay, let's try this. Lloyd.
The number's really not that high. Like, I'm not worried about like all the separate jobs. Like,
so it's okay.
Still there?
Yes.
So when you say the number's not that high, is it like you could pay a few dinners from it? You could buy one apartment. You could like buy a few apartments. Where are we looking?
It's like maybe 100 nice dinners. Not that much. It can't be that bad. It was like it's in the low 4 figures. It's very manageable.
Is it break your legs serious, or you go into the river with concrete on your feet serious?
Well, I think they would have to break my legs to attach concrete to it and throw me over. But I've got a feeling it might be a little bit of column A and a little column B.
You are a man of
mood, I imagine.
You are a man of very unstraight answers, Mr. Green.
Canon Fury used intimidation against Lloyd.
And I'm going to use fast talk if he does that.
I don't have very high in intimidate. I'm just as business associates and potential partners. I just
I do know the man. Yes, I do know the man. I do know most of those men. Yes. I do know them?
Were they your bookies and you didn't satisfy?
That happened once or twice, yes. But like I said, there was. I've been here for a little bit, and it's more than just. It's not a very simple answer. It's not just a one-time thing.
Okay.
Do you also know their tailor? Because actually, those were very nice suits. I'm sure Goose and I would both like to investigate that further.
Well,
Oh,
if you
yes.
really like their suits, I actually have a friend that could really hook you up pretty cheaply.
No, I just want the direct address.
Oh, but
Not
come on,
gonna
I can get you a better
overpay
deal than
for
that.
fire you. I know how this works. You
Um,
get some cheap
simul-
suit and I'm sorry. Go
si-
ahead.
simultaneously, you all hear a buzz coming from your communication devices.
Hmm.
Oh, that kind of buzz. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that kind of buzz.
Okay, so I'll pick it up. Pick.
Um,
Hello?
uh, Gustav, are the others with you?
Yes, and only
This should
us.
This is Shapiro. I need you back at the office. We've got a situation and a mission. Get back within, are you close enough? You can be back within 15, 20 minutes?
52nd Street.
Yeah, meet me in the briefing room on 7.
Okay, sure. And I'll put
Yeah.
down the buzzer, and you probably all heard that. Let's settle our tab and go.
Oh, DeLuca probably had somebody follow us and they saw the gangsters.
I mean, they already know about
Yeah,
Mr.
but
Green's dealings.
they
Yeah.
know about Mr. Green, but like this guy's a liability. We should just shoot him and throw him in the
Liability?
garbage can.
Stoney, I can't disagree.
No, I was over there. I was a very valuable member for that mission. Thank you very much. A liability?
Yes,
I would say you
liability
have-
Was to
now.
talk the rest of those people into like almost giving up their lives to fight that damn thing that came towards us and all those dogs. That took a lot of talking. That took a lot of expertise.
Yeah,
There's a
and
lot of
your-
stuff you didn't see going on
your
behind the scenes that
debts-
I've been working on.
Your debts now have us in a position where we may have to betray our current employers, and that does not sit with me.
Well, we're not going to betray Caduceus, regardless. I mean,
Well, the thing is, Caduceus already has to know about his debts. They have to.
I think what
Maybe
we can
Caduceus
say,
will settle his debts.
Mr. Green, as I guess we're going to call you. I think we can go forward on the agreement that next time a big crystal or small crystal or anything of value shows up, you don't just secret it away and try to sell it. You know.
I didn't try to sell anything, just so you
But-
know that they are both locked up very tight. You can ask Dr. Harrow. We were just looking at those recently.
Okay, don't try to steal shit. I think we can go forward
Stealing's
if we
not my
get.
expertise anyway.
Why? Why is it this way with you? Just agree not to steal shit.
Not take it, not relocate it, not whatever you want
If
to
it
call
looks
it.
expensive, say, "Hey, can I have this?" And as a group, we will collectively agree whether you can have it or not, or whether it needs to go to Caduceus. Is that a fair
it should
path
be a-
forward?
It should be a pulp scale talking out of both sides.
Is that a fair path forward for you, Mr. Green? For us helping settle your debts?
You're paying
can
off
do
your
that.
bill then.
I mean,
I think we can
We
manage
could-
it. I can do that.
Okay. Just check with us before you want to, take something for your own.
All right. So you
Look, it
pay off
wasn't
your
my
bill.
intention to get this all to oh, wait a minute. Are we really paying it off or are we just going to walk out? Because I imagine we're all just going to walk out.
We're going to
No,
pay
I'm-
this.
I'm
We're going to
pay- I'm
pay
gonna
this
pay.
bill.
You're paying per diem, so you're not really paying.
We're paying for this meal.
It's a good thing they didn't
Um,
leave me behind. I would have stolen the meal.
You go back across town, back to the Meeting building. It's probably, we'll say 10 p.m. by now.
makes sense.
You get up to 7 and you go into the briefing room and you sit down, and a few seconds later Shapiro comes in, and as usual Shapiro, his clothes are somewhat rumpled and he's looks sweaty and nervous. And he says, please, sit down. Oh, we've got another thing coming. So we were just contacted this evening by I guess I should do this. And he pulls down a map and he shows you a very large island in the below Asia. And he goes, Borneo. He points to it and he says, we were just contacted by the North Borneo Chartered Company. They've contacted Caduceus for assistance. Now, that's where it starts. That's going to give us our end to get over there. Today is March 21st. He says, so they've contacted us. The Brits have contacted us because of the medical emergency that seems to be going on, an epidemic. The first symptoms of this epidemic, which appears to be infectious hepatitis, fairly common disease. It started on the 16th, and the first deaths occurred on the 18th, 2 days later. Now, for those of you who know anything about infectious hepatitis, yes, Dr. Harrell?
No, that just seems terribly fast, does it not?
Indeed, it is. Infectious hepatitis usually takes 6 to 8 weeks before you begin to show symptoms. And then it usually takes a few more weeks before the person experiences renal failure and or liver failure, and they die. Without treatment, they die. This seems to people start to show symptoms, and within 2 days, they're dead. And that's extremely unusual. Now, we looked in our databases, and we did find some references to a kind of a disease. I won't give you the na'akal. It's translates as yellow death. And they call it yellow death because the person becomes extremely jaundiced, which is also a sign in hepatitis. The person becomes jaundiced. The yellow death was invented by a number of ancient serpent people, and regrettably, it was used to control human population way back when. It's a very fast-acting disease, and it tends to kill everyone in an area before the disease can move. So the disease has a lifespan of about a month before it becomes inviable. So it's not really a good choice for large areas. You do it in small areas. We don't know that it is the yellow death. So, Jack, we've already got them loading your viral analyzer onto a cargo plane, which you guys will also be getting on and heading to Borneo. Borneo is a very large island. I think it's the 5th largest island on the planet. It's controlled by the Dutch and by the Brits. We're going to be in the British part of it, the northern part of it. And it seems to be concentrated right about around the base of the largest mountain, which is Mount Kinabalu. There is a quarantine zone. You're going to go in there now, because if it is the yellow death, I'm going to be going with you. If it is the yellow death, then it's probably got its connection with the inner night. So that's one of the things that we have to establish, is that the inner night. We're also I'm more than a little terrified that they somehow could have modified the disease so that it's more virulent and lasts longer, and they could actually use it for mass extermination. So we need to check and see if it's been modified in some way.
Well,
You're
do
going
we
to-
know if there's been any, because what you were saying before, these Internet, they're not too smart, and I would think they'd have to recruit some rather intelligent scientists. Has there been any circulation
know.
around? Okay.
We don't know. And that also brings up a couple of other questions to think about is why there? I mean, if you're going to test it on a population, why pick some obscure little island off in the middle of nowhere? And a small, they're all farmers, I think, in that area. There's no major cities of any kind that are there. So I'll be going with you, and hopefully we can resolve it. And we'll have all of the necessary quarantine equipment that we need.
Do we know if that mountain has an extensive cave system that could be purging an area of humans around their own habitation if they're trying to build a base?
From what I understand, it does. In fact, it has some of the largest caves on Earth in that mountain. It also has some of the strangest wildlife and plant life, which might interest Miss Meadows.
That was my next question, whether Ms. Meadows had any of the toxic samples you'd picked up had notable kidney function or liver function problems.
Well, there was just the one that, if it was ingested, would cause explosion. So,
Right. Yes, I would say that's distinct from jaundice, so we could rule that out.
When are we leaving out?
As soon as possible. I'll get your stuff together. Hopefully you'll pack a duffel bag or something with change of clothing. We'll have all the equipment loaded on the ship. We'll of course make sure that you have, I keep saying you, it's we. You want me to go with you. You'll have plenty of food and water, because we don't know where the infection came from.
I was hoping to have time to construct our room and blast Goose, but it seems like maybe that's not.
That project's probably going to take a few weeks.
Okay.
How long will the travel arrangements take to get from there? Are we going by boat?
No, you're flying.
Flying. Okay.
Most likely you'll be there tomorrow sometime. Well, tomorrow evening sometime.
So we're leaving in the next hour at most.
Well, I don't know about
that's
the
what
rest
we'd
of you,
like.
but I like the idea of a vacation.
This yellow death, it might not be the same infection that's spreading, but was it spread from person to person or in the air, or how
Body
did
fluids.
it spread? Body fluids.
Body fluids, yeah. Human contact, any physical contact is dangerous.
Do we get any equipment or, gear to protect ourselves from the
Yes,
local populace?
We'll make sure you have quarantine outfits. And yes, we all have to be careful. There is no known cure.
Only that one
And the
cure
entire-
that cures everything.
And the entire island is infected.
There's a small quarantine zone. It's been cordoned off. We're not sure that there's more than 100 people or so in that area. That's in the quarantine zone. The British military will meet you there and escort you. And hopefully it can be contained. we certainly wouldn't want it, as I say, if the Internight have developed it into something that will spread beyond that quarantine zone, then I don't know.
And
There's
You're
anything that
not.
kills that fast isn't going to be able to spread very far. But if they're spreading it intentionally, that's another matter. Since you're already loading a cargo plane, Shapiro, let's put in for spelunking equipment as well. Bring actual ropes, pickaxes, pitons, some more of those larger
he's writing this all
lamps,
down as you're saying it. Yeah.
because
Anything
I
else you might think you
anticipate,
need?
yeah, I anticipate we'll be going under the ground before long again.
Well, this sounds like a trip we might not come back from. Is there any way I can send a letter to my granny before we leave?
You can write it quickly. Yeah. And yes, I'm sorry. It's, we're all of our real missions are always things that we might not come back from. But you're hardy, you're strong, you're tough,
We all
and you
crossed
seem to have
Fifth
an awful
Avenue.
lot of luck.
We all crossed Fifth Avenue earlier this evening during rush hour, so clearly we know what it's like to risk not coming back. I think I'm going to sort of kind of eyeball the group. We had our meal was interrupted before you called. It appears that the fact that Caduceus is not just shipping penicillin out, but bringing large crates back through the docks has been noticed by people who think that import-export is their personal domain.
Oh, of certain illicit goods, I'd say.
We're kind of in a hurry. Is this really important? People have noticed, you said. Or
Yeah.
perhaps we can talk about it on the plane.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of time.
Is there anything that you might want to mention to somebody before we go? Because our luck, and I'm just looking at everybody, seems to have been good, but you might want to make notice of it. There's just last time Dr. Arseni wasn't so lucky.
That's in the past. Let's do what we can. And you can see that Shapiro is not cheery, and he's nervous, and he's sweaty, and he's, this is our job. So get to it. And he ends the meeting and rushes off to pull stuff together. All right, so let's move ahead.
Guys.
You guys,
What have we gotten ourselves into?
you guys get all of your stuff together. You take company vehicles to the airport. You are loaded onto a large cargo plane. Not exactly the most comfortable plane, but you can see that all of your stuff has been packed. There's crates, and there's the rather large crate for the machine and all of that back in the back. As the plane lifts off, you can see that Shapiro, it's not PC to say, but he becomes quite pale, even though he's not normally pale. You get the feeling that he doesn't like to fly.
I'm getting the feeling he doesn't like the whole assignment. I'll sit next to him and ask, is this your first time going into the field, or?
No. But all that equipment in the back, some of it's quite delicate. And this is a lot to ask, but I mean, it's what we do, I suppose. Anything for the cause. And of course, our cause is more important than just the humanitarian aid that we can supply. So you fly up the coast across Canada. You fly up over Alaska, down past Russia, and you start heading into the more southern parts where all the islands are. Eventually, and it's probably now it's the 22nd or so, approaching evening. It's been a long, boring flight.
And cold and loud.
And
At
cold
some point,
and loud.
I'm going to yell over to Green. Hey, Green, what do they speak anyway in Borneo?
Borny.
In northern Borneo, they speak English.
I don't know why I said
okay.
Borny.
So
have they been hazing me, or like has everyone been giving me the cold shoulder this whole flight?
They've been giving you the cold shoulder. Mostly, probably, I mean, do a psychology roll. Just a general one.
Just general psychology. Okay. It's if I need to, I can make it a hard pretty easily.
Okay. Well, if you make it a hard, you realize that you're making a reputation for yourself where everything you see or everything you say sounds like a lie. And you're wondering if telling the truth won't, if you start coming clean with them, maybe it'll smooth some things over. They seem like the kind of people who can keep secrets. But if you keep lying, then they'll never believe anything that you say. And that might be a problem.
Okay.
All right. So you're flying, you're over North Borneo, and you can see as the sun is setting in the west, you can see Mount Kinabalu. It's a rather tall mountain, kind of spectacular, considering that most of everything else that you see is jungle. So once again, you're back to jungle. I would like you to do spot hiddens.
I got an 05, which is an extreme.
Okay.
And
Maybe
pass.
Jack, you're up towards the front of the ship so that you're looking. How did everybody, who else passed?
I got a 91, so I'm tired of being in this
Okay.
cargo plane.
So everybody failed except for Buzz, and Buzz has got a good seat looking out the front. Buzz, as you guys are flying, and the pilot, the pilot's not important. There's actually two, pilot and a co-pilot. You look off towards Mount Kinabalu, and you notice something that at first you think are those birds. But then kind of looking at the mountain and the jungle and the sunset and the thing, it's like they don't seem very close. What are they? And you can see the flapping of wings and something's approaching your area. There are 3, 4, maybe 5 of them. And they're flying right at the airplane. They look black against the sky. And the wings remind you like of bat wings. Do another spot hidden for me, Jack.
That is an 18, which is a hard.
Okay. As they get closer, you focus in on them. They look like your classic right out of, church walls and pictures. They look like demons. They're black. They have horns on their heads. They have long, pointy tails. They have bat wings. They're completely black. You see no face whatsoever. And do you do anything? Because they're about to reach the airplane. You can do a sanity roll too.
Okay. Let's do that and see what I respond with. That feels like a fail. That is definitely a fail. 87 over 47.
Okay. Do a 1d6.
Well, Stoney, I've got a 2 of hearts. You win again.
4.
No. You yell out, but you don't lose your
Don't freak
mind. You guys all hear Jack suddenly yelling,
Demons! Demons! Demons!
What the hell?
and something suddenly hits the airplane. You guys all feel it jerk to the side. Jack, one of these things rather elegantly turns and crashes into the front of the airplane, right where the windshield is, and it smashes the windshield. Glass goes everywhere. The blast of wind suddenly starts coming through the airplane, and you see this thing's rather immense claws. The thing itself is only about the size of a human, maybe a little bigger, but it grabs the pilot and rips him out of his chair, and you see it fly off with him into the air. The co-pilot is screaming. You see one of these things fly over and land on the wing and start tearing at it. And that's, I think, we're going to leave it for the evening.
Yeah, I probably yell back. Do any of y'all know how to fly a plane?
I can pilot a boat.
I think I can.
Oh, no.
You pilot a boat. That'll help. Our players included Cone Lighton, Carrie Comer, Kent Blue, Julian Arba, Dakota Poole, and David Gassaway with yours truly as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.